with our after Grammys celebration. Got Sticker granddaughter here.
Yeah.
Anybody out there? It went on till what, 11:45 our time?
11:48.
8:48 out in California time. Did you guys watch any of it? The Beatles won a Grammy before the TV telecast started. They won the Best Rock Performance, and Sean Lennon accepted the Grammy. I think it's Best Pop Rock Performance. So the Beatles won a Grammy for Now and Then. Hallelujah. How many Grammys have the Beatles won? And Chappell won the Best New Artist. Way to go, Chappell. Didn't win anything else, but you said when you were 14, your goal in life was to win a Grammy. Well, you've done it now.
To the Daniel.
Daniel Castillo said Grammys was a barn burner.
There were a lot of good acts, a lot of good performances. Way to go, Daniel. Glad you liked it.
He said the other thing.
He said Kanye wasn't let in the building.
A couple notes about, I wrote some notes about the, you guys can message in on the red carpet. Chappell wore about 4 expensive outfits tonight. They said she slayed the red carpet. And then that big hat she was wearing towards the end of the show, even when she won her Grammy, it fell off. And she went all out, though, with all those outfits. I'll have to check the red carpet videos of her, but I saw a little bit of it. Turn that off, please. So they had Chappell right up front. Chappell Roan was right up front with Sabrina. Taylor Swift was up there. Beyonce. It started off with the all-star group. I guess they were called Dawes. And they had backing group. They had a lot of people. Sheryl Crow and St. Vincent. And they did I Love L.A. That was a great way to start the show. And then they had Chappell on a lot of camera shots when the host, Trevor, how do you say his name? Trevor Noah?
Yeah.
Trevor Noah, the host. I guess he's hosted the Grammys about 5 times. Billie Eilish started off the performances with Birds of a Feather. And it looked like it was outside, but she was actually on stage. And they showed Taylor Swift dancing to it. Then we had Sabrina Carpenter do that comedy with a lot of espresso and Please Please Me with all the mistakes. She likes to add a lot of comedy to her performances, but she had a lot of people up there on stage with her. It was like a Broadway musical. So I thought they went all out. And then we had Best Rap Artist, how do you say it? D-O-E-S-H? Dosh won the Best Rap Artist. The Best Pop Vocal Album went to Sabrina Carpenter. And then the big night part of the show for me, Olivia Rodrigo presented Chappell Roan. I couldn't believe she did Pink Pony Club, but that's when she won her first award. It was, she said her goal in life was to win a Grammy. So I guess she had to do Pink Pony Club because that's the first dance song pop that she did. And so she did that at the Saturday Night Live, and she did that here at the Grammys. She had about 60 dancers on stage, a lot of clowns and stuff, and it was another Broadway production. So they had 2 Broadway productions there for Sabrina and Chappell Roan. The Best Country Album went to Beyonce for Cowboy Carter. I think Taylor Swift announced that one. And then we had Lady Gaga There was a MasterCard commercial that really I thought was just a commercial for her new album, Mayhem. But it was really a bizarre commercial. They spent a lot of time with all those different parts of that Lady Gaga. It was I don't know, it was like a music video from the old days. It almost looked like Marilyn Manson. It was so weird. I gave it a wow. I thought it was pretty good. I guess the song is called Abracadabra or something like that. Jennifer Lopez was a presenter. Then they had a lot of commercials that related to Chappell Roan. The super graphic, ultra modern girl was in the background of one of them, and the Phenomenon was in the background music of another commercial. Big Quincy Jones tribute. Lanny Wilson. She did a Ray Charles song. I'm sure Daniel liked that. Stevie Wonder, he was at Fire Aid and he was performed on this one with Herbie Hancock. So I got to give Stevie Wonder a shout out. He's a real trooper when it comes to these shows. That's a UK pressing of a Talking Book. And we got Will Smith was out there during the Quincy Jones tribute. And who's the girl that did the Michael Jackson tribute and did the moonwalk? I'm not familiar. I don't think Sticker Granddaughter knew who she was either. If you can send that in a message, tell me who that was. Best pop duo performance went to Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars for Die With a Smile. So Bruno Mars was all over the Grammys tonight. And best new artists, it went to Chappell Roan, but that Benson Boone, where he was out in the table, and he kind of looked like he's bored and didn't want to talk, and then all of a sudden he pulls a microphone out of his shirt, and he goes by, who's the famous comedian? Can't think of her name, but they pulled his suit off, and he went up there and he did a flip off that piano, and that Benson Boone was hell of a performance, I thought. Dashi performed. Teddy Swims. That Loose Control was great. Shabuzi did Tipsy, the bar song. I thought that was really good. The Ray, the UK, she went up there and did a performance. The acceptance speech about Chappell Roan, she went after record labels. That took a lot of guts. Way to go, Chappell. Saying they should give them health insurance and everything when they're first starting. That she never got that with Atlantic Records. And Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars performed California Dreamin'. I thought that was really good. And I don't know much about The Weeknd, but I thought that performance was great. A couple more. Chris Martin did All My Love. Record of the Year went to Not Like Us from Kendrick Lamar. And he also won for Song of the Year. And Sharika, how do you say her name?
Oh, Shakira.
Shakira got up there and performed. She was really good. And Charlie XCX, I don't quite understand that, but that was another Broadway musical with all those dancers. And then the album of the year went to Beyonce again for Cowboy Carter. So she won the best country album and album of the year.
It's not really country, though.
All right. What's the message to say?
Okay. A lot of them was answered.
I think I said those things out of order, but that was the main big performances.
Yeah, really, all of them will kind of go with everything.
Uncle Paul said, "Well, they spread love. Pink Pony was incredible. Glad she won Best New Artist and Beatles for rock performance."
And the Beatles for Now and Then. Yeah, I was really sweating that Chappell wasn't going to win anything, but they have 1,300, and a lot of them are younger voters, and Chappell won it.
And then Uncle Paul said, "Love to Sean Lennon."
I didn't see that when Sean Lennon accepted the award. That wasn't part of the telecast, right? That was done before the telecast.
Dave Evans said, "Good evening, Sticker."
How you doing, Dave Evans? All right, clear the table off and show a few things. We're probably only on here about 30 minutes tonight. I know it's late. I showed this in. That's my Chappell Roan. You've seen it lots of times. I would say Chappell Roan's.
Well, Daniel said good for Chappell. She will gain new fans from the publicity.
Yeah. Gregory Field was kind of saying that she is kind of a clown and everything else, but I was saying, well, she does it her way. And when she won the Best New Artist, that proved it. But that's my sign. Chappell Roan album. I probably sell this in the next day thanks to the Grammys. Picture of her signing it. And that's what's nice about this Chappell Roan. It's got the X's and O's. That's her love little notes. What's that fell down there? You're dropping things there. So we got the Chappell Roan thing. We'll take everything down. Can you put that over my Chappell Roan stack? We got the signed CD of Chappell. It's like shaving a little insert. It's pretty cool. She only did that when the first album first came out. And then we got the anthology sealed from the UK of Anthology 2 and Anthology 3. I sold the Anthology 1. I'm gonna sit that over there.
Uncle Paul said Chappell gave a very gutsy speech.
Yeah, she sure did. She was kind of shocking people when she did that. And we got the Chappell Roan album with the special limited edition with the splatter vinyl. They call this the Blood Red. All right, and you saw that's my factory sealed 2023 blue and red CD that's kind of out of print now, that's got Now and Then on there. All right, there goes my Chappell Roan stack over there. Went to the Louisville Antique Toy Mall today, and I picked this up. Haven't shown this yet. There's a lot of people have this on the internet, on eBay, but they're all in used condition. This has never been worn. An extra large of the Smashing Pumpkins Infinite.
Drop it down a little bit.
Huh?
Drop it down. There you go.
Infinite Sadness Tour. This is a real deal. It's dated down here in 1996. But I couldn't go wrong on it. I thought that was never. I know some of these shirts have a lot of value, but that's a perfect. No, never been worn, never been washed. Somebody's interested in that. That is extra large. There's the tag. $400 shipped. For a perfect 1996 Smashing Pumpkins extra large t-shirt.
It has an angry face.
Has an angry face.
Uncle Paul said you gotta say the Grammy award winning Now and Then.
The Grammy award winning, you're right, Uncle Paul. The Grammy award winning Now and Then. They think, a lot of people didn't think they'd win one because of the AI. But Paul McCartney tried to explain it. He just has a hard time explaining it. Mostly it was done with the Peter Jackson technology. It wasn't artificial intelligence.
Novus Nick said, hello, Sticker family.
How you doing, Novus Nick?
On your retirement.
Thanks. Been retired a couple days. I'm still trying to get used to it. See Chappell in the audience doing that, had that big hat on, and she's going like this. Her and her girlfriend were.
Girlfriend?
Yeah, the girl that's always in her TikTok.
I don't watch her TikTok. I don't watch TikTok.
I can't remember her name.
TikTok rots your brain.
What do you want to see today? What do you want to talk about? I showed about everything last night. Talked about Stevie Wonder, Rod Stewart. I had my friends watch the Rod Stewart performance on the Fire Aid, and they agree with me that he was top notch. A performance from Rod Stewart when he did the 3 songs, Forever Young, People Get Ready, and Maggie May. What did you think? Do you think he was really good?
Daniel Casilio said, well, the rock performance was more than expected.
For the Beatles?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I'm the Passion I'll Be Allowed to Die guy said, Frank, you turned all of us onto Chappell Roan. I always used to love introducing friends to bands that they still love to this day.
All right.
Uncle Paul said, I thought Pink Pony Club tonight was outstanding.
Uncle Paul, yeah. She gave it her all, and she had all those dancers and all that special effect. Yeah, I thought it was really good. like I said, a Broadway musical. Her, Sabrina, and there were several others that were Broadway musical performances tonight. You got to practice that, or practice to pull that off. Shout out our R.I.P. to Marianne Faithful that passed away a couple days ago. You know, the Sister Morphine song on Sticky Fingers is all about Marianne Faithful that used to be a girlfriend of Mick Jagger. So R.I.P. Rest in peace, Marianne Faithful. This is my German pressing of Sticky Fingers. This one you want to get with TML in the dead wax, which means Doug Sachs cut it different than the American pressings. Doug Sachs was one of the top 5 mastering engineers of all time. Harry T. Moss should be up there, all the work he did for the Beatles. You got any messages?
If there was messages, I would say them.
No messages.
No.
Nirvana, the St. Vincent was there sitting next to Kim Gordon. I think there might be some sort of Nirvana reunion where they have those female, including Violet Grohl, and they go out there and go on tour. That would be pretty amazing with the 3 surviving members of Nirvana. That's my original sheet music for Smells Like Teen Spirit. That's up on my STICKERMANIA eBay store. That Chappell Roan sign album is up there also. My STICKERMANIA 2853 eBay store. Remember, if you want to get a hold of me about anything, my YouTube address is, if Sticker Granddaughter gets it here. It's late for night for her. Mr_STICKERMANIA at yahoo.com. I've had about 30 people get a hold of me through that. Somebody has a big Beatle collection and he would like to do some cash and trade for my Nimbus Supercut, but we'll see what happens. I'll let you know what happens on the negotiations of that. Sgt. Pepper 1984, Sgt. Pepper Nimbus Supercut. There are only 1,000 in the world. Miners in near mint condition. It blew me away when I heard it. I finally got the nerve to play one. I know Daniel's got one also. This is the 1999 audiophile pressing of the Beatles Yellow Submarine soundtrack. Yellow Submarine soundtrack. It's got 15 all Beatles songs on it, and they've all been remixed by, I thought it was son of the Hollies guy, Peter Hicks. I don't think Giles Martin was involved on this. Did you guys see Giles Martin at the Grammys there? He was up at one of the front tables. This is the one on yellow wax. Made in the UK, it says right there on the inner sleeve and on the cover. The way you want to hear the Beatles' Yellow Submarine.
Uncle Paul.
What's Uncle Paul saying?
Uncle Paul said, "How was your retirement cake last night?"
Well, there's only a little bit left. Sticker teenager got into it, and there's only a piece left. I had one piece.
The fall should not be let. That guy said, "I
Well,
hope."
you missed the thing where you said I retired, no cake. Laugh out loud.
Who got no cake? Uncle Paul?
He said he retired and got no cake.
Huh.
Because you don't have a great granddaughter.
All right.
The Paul should not be allowed to die guy said, "I hope Chappell gets to do the Super Bowl someday." Nirvana with Paul McCartney was called Sirvana.
Sirvana?
Yep.
Do you think the girls performing for Kurt Cobain's going to be called Girlvana? That's what everybody seems to be saying now.
And Dave Evans said it's a very interesting listen.
What is?
Mm-hmm.
Guess what you were talking about?
Well, what's an interesting listen, David?
Daniel Castillo said, "Are you looking forward to Kendrick Lamar halftime show?"
I don't know much about Kendrick Lamar. Not Like Us. I've heard that song on what's the we listened to it on Louisville 99.8.
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah,
what it
and
is.
they play that song a lot.
99.7 or 8.
Yeah, and I've had a hard time getting into it.
And then
Uncle
Paul said Sean was perplexed as Gales was missing when they won, and you were so correct.
Giles was missing when they won. The Beatles won, and Sean Lennon didn't. He knew he had to get up on stage. Somebody had to accept it. So my question is, I never saw it during the telecast. Was it done before the telecast? I haven't watched all the YouTube videos. I only watched the telecast on CBS. It went on for 3 hours and 45, not 2 hours and 45 minutes, right?
Brad Parnell said the best Grammy Award acceptance speech of all time was delivered by Paul McCartney for Let It Be in 1971.
Yeah, I've seen that on YouTube. That was pretty good.
I'm the Paul Should Not Be Allowed Die guy said the People Get Ready video with Rod Stewart and Jeff Beck is beautiful. Dave Grohl's daughter.
Yeah. So do you guys agree with me that Rod Stewart really performed amazingly at the Fire Aid a couple days ago?
Uncle Paul.
How old is Rod Stewart? Is he 80 years old?
Uncle Paul said live on YouTube in afternoon.
It was live on YouTube in the afternoon, I guess.
Oh yeah. So the Grammys, when they gave the award, that was Sean Lennon when he got it from the Beatles Now and Then for the best. Is it the best pop rock performance? I guess that's what they wanted for. My buddy Kevin from Kevin Records says there's some politics in why the Beatles won this year because they ignored them all the years they were famous. Is there any truth to that? There were 13,000 voters, and most of them were of the young crowd that voted for the Grammys.
Brad said Rod turned 80 last month.
80-year-old man, and he out there, he was just a hell of a performer. Way to go, Rod Stewart. They call him Rod the Mod, and somebody said that.
The Paul Not Allowed to Die guy said, as an old man, Rod was unreal.
Yeah, just 2 days ago. That's what he's saying. Yeah, he outdid every old artist I've ever seen in that performance he did the other day. I don't think anybody, Ringo can't match that, and we know Paul can't match that. Who else at 80 could have performed like Rod Stewart did the other day? Maybe Mick Jagger would be close.
I feel like likes and streams should have been counted in who won the Grammys instead of just random.
A couple other notes I missed the other day on things that have sold. We talked about the portrait cover. It sold several times on eBay lately. The rough shape sold for $1,800, and a real nice stereo sold for $7,400. And then a First Date butcher cover, I don't have mine right now, but a West Coast Perry Cox sold for $14,000. And a stereo ad back. My stereo ad back is here. It's right there. Stereo ad back sold for, a couple of them sold for $7,000 and $6,000 lately on eBay. So these are hard to find, the stereo ad back, the original. First album released of the Beatles in North America. The summer of '63, they made these covers. Then VJ put them in a storage unit and said this group would never sell in America. They had 6,000 slicks made, not many stereo, with the printer in the USA. And then when I Want to Hold Your Hand went to start being played in New York, VJ had a meeting and said, we got to get this out. So they released it out in a matter of days. On January 10th, it came out with the ads on the back. And then there was a blank back. And then there was a title back with Love Me Do. I have a short video on that on my YouTube channel. I think I sold that for $4,000. It's the only title back I've ever had.
Sorry, ain't gonna go down.
Of a version 1, Love Me Do, original.
Daniel said, don't think the Beatles were ignored. They won more than any other rock bands of all time.
Of their time.
Of their time. How many Grammys did the Stones or Doors win the 60s? None.
Well, that's true. You got a point there.
Johnny Ramone said, rest in peace, Jay Beck, my hero, one of them.
Jeff Beck, yes.
Brad Cornell said Tom Jones is 84 and he still has a great singing voice.
Who's that?
Tom Jones.
Tom Jones? Yeah, he would be up about that same age of 80.
I'm the Paul Shinobi.
But Tom Jones, I don't know. That's a little different than Rod Stewart.
I'm the Paul should not be allowed to die guy. Stills and Nash were not as good as they once were. Rob.
Oh, they. I felt sad for Stephen Stills. The microphone wasn't on very good when he was singing For What It's Worth. And then he just started grinning because he knew his voice wasn't going out at all on one verse. They had a lot of microphone problems on the Fire Aid. But somehow when Rod Stewart was out there, everything worked perfect.
Uncle Paul said, I did emotionally think of John. If somebody told him that Little Demo would win a Grammy in 2025, his response would be LOL.
Yeah, you're right. I talked about the BC-13. I got some nice things coming in. If the mail breaks loose a little bit more, about 15 things. I want a Beatlemania, the first album released in Canada in November of 1963. It's factory sealed in a baggie. I'm not sure if it's a 63, it's probably a 64 pressing, and I want it for $600 the other day. And I have another Sgt. Pepper like Dave Evans bought that he loves, a 1981 UK mono near mint. I won that the other day. And I have a sealed 1977 Magical Mystery Tour Germany. I won at an auction the other day. It has a price tag of $10.99. $10.99, and I want it for $333. That of any Beatles album that keeps going up in value every year, I'd say it's the Magical Mystery Tour Germany pressing with All True. When you listen to that, you fall up like John Hood said when he heard Strawberry Fields and Penny Lane. He fell off of his chair. Kind of like Dave when I played the Band on the Run. I fell off my chair.
Dave Evans was talking about the Yellow Submarine earlier when he was talking about that comment that it's a very interesting listen.
Oh, the Yellow Submarine soundtrack.
Yeah.
Uncle Paul said, love Sean when he said my father's group.
All right, way to go, Sean Lennon. I'm going to have to watch it now.
And then Dave Evans said, I believe Steven Stills is deaf in 1 year.
Yeah, well, there's another person that performed a Fire Aid that might be deaf in 2 ears. Well, I shouldn't say that. That'd be mean. That Stevie Nicks performance was pretty weird. I don't understand that one at all. What do you guys think of Stevie Nicks performing at Fire Aid? But then also the St. Vincent, when she performed with the Nirvana, 3 guys, surviving members of Nirvana, she had a problem. She kept going like that to her earpiece, and then her vocals were like a second behind the music, and it was really weird, I thought. But they got it all, the kinks out before the daughter, 18-year-old daughter came out, Violet Grohl, and that was really good. Joan Jett, I used to see Joan Jett in her prime. She's had a rough life. She looked pretty rough out there on stage. I don't know how old Joan Jett would be. All right, let's put the Yellow Submarine. Hey, you guys want to see anything else? You want to talk about?
Daniel Castillo said, glad I held on to the German Magical Mystery Tour.
Yep, that's one. That's one that everybody wants. Anybody, in my opinion, anybody has an expensive audiophile system like Jimmy Fallon's got a $200,000 system. There's 2 albums you have to have in rock and roll history, maybe 3. First press, Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon. A German pressing in the 70s, True Stereo, Magical Mystery Tour. And you got to have the Led Zeppelin 2 Monarch pressing with the RL cut. from 1969.
Uncle Paul Should Not Be Allowed to Die guy said some Canadian albums had a promo black and white photo.
Yes, I've seen the black and white photo. Somebody sold that black and white photo the other day and went for $150 and it had tape marks on the corners.
Johnny Ramone said Grammy Museum in LA a must see.
A must see, the Grammy Museum in LA. Johnny, did you talk to Greg Fio any today? He worked behind the scenes at the Grammys.
Uncle Paul.
I asked him earlier today what song Chappell was going to perform tonight, and he said he signed a DNA. I'm not probably saying, where he wasn't
Not
allowed
allowed to talk about it.
not allowed to talk about what the artist was going to perform. He had to sign a form.
Did Uncle Paul go?
Do not yap.
Do what?
Uncle Paul said, you know the Mind Games Cube won tonight for her historical package.
The Mind Games? Yeah, I didn't buy that big box set. I know that Mean Mr. Mayo Joe bought it and then he sold it in about 2 weeks later.
Brad Purnell said Joan Jett is 65.
65, wow.
Uncle Paul said that's why Sean was there.
Sean was there because of Now and Then, right? Surely.
Dave Evans said Frank, you are correct. NDA. That's
About
what
the
it is.
3 out. Oh, NDA.
Well, yeah.
I think
NDA must be the term. What does it stand for?
I think Frank was. I think he's saying you're correct about the Stevie Nicks and all that. When he was talking
NDA
about
Oh, that or she's got hearing problems. The what?
No.
All right, we're not giving
No, it
anything.
was because he accepted for Mind Games, is what Uncle Paul said. No, Mind Games, he accepted.
Gordon Teed
Oh,
said
guess
for the
that's why
package,
Sean
the best
Lennon-
package.
That must have
Yeah.
been why Sean Lennon
Was there, and then it kind of confused him when he had to go up and get it for Now and Then because Giles hadn't shown up. Giles was only there for the telecast.
Kylo Foster said no disclosure agreement.
No disclosure agreement. NDA, no disclosure agreement. Thanks.
Gordon
Gregory Fio had to sign that today.
Gordon Teet said Nobody's Fault But Mine by Tom Jones. An excellent song by Tom.
By who?
Tom.
By Tom Jones. I like a few of Tom Jones' songs. Tom Jones said he met John Lennon once, and he recalls that incident when he met John Lennon.
Dave Evans said he was talking about, I guess, the 3 albums. He said, yes, the 3 albums.
He agreed with the 1-3. I said that if you had expensive, you'd have to have those 3 albums
That's
to
what he's
really
talking
make that system shine. I showed most everything I've shown. Showed my promos, my Christmas album. I put my first time I've ever had a UK pressing of the fan club from England. I put that up on my eBay store. I took made 10 listings today, but I got behind putting other things up because of the Grammys. I was all about the Grammys today. Thank God, Chappell Roan won the Best New Artist.
Uncle Paul said he likes the Chappell Roan shirt that I got on.
All right.
You gave it to me.
Yep.
And then,
And then Daniel Castillo said Elvis could not believe Tom Jones was British when he first heard him.
British artist, keep going.
British
He
artists
was
don't
Welsh.
sing like that
I
all
think
the
Tom
time.
Jones was Welsh, but that's part of United Kingdom.
He said they became close friends.
Elvis and Tom Jones.
Yeah, I guess that's who he's talking about.
All right, I think I can't keep Sticker Granddaughter up much. I just wanted to do a celebration of Chappell Roan and the Beatles winning Now and Then. I'm glad you guys stayed up late and watched it and made some messages here in the chat. And we'll be back on Wednesday. I hope I got some big things coming. And if I have a lot of good things coming, what kind of live stream will we have?
Barn burner.
A barn
A
burner.
Batman shirt.
And
like the
Daniel
Grammy.
said, well, yeah, they're all British except Ireland.
Yeah. So thanks, Daniel. Thanks, Uncle Paul. All you guys that checked in. Dave Evans, Novus Nick. I know I'm leaving a few out. And I hope you guys enjoyed the Grammys as much as I did. See you later from Louisville, Kentucky.
Have a nice night.